Yeah, last time we were here at Optimist Hall, there were lots of reasons not to be optimistic at all about the huge success that this Mill Makeover project enjoys today.
Cotton, cotton mill blue, cotton, cotton mill blue, cotton, cotton mill blue. On my mind.
So the building was in shambles.
Developer Eric Johnson remembers Optimist Hall before it was Optimist Hall. In 2017, this unfinished project was called Tompkins Hall. Different name, but the same old mill with a leaky roof that had to go and these creaky floorboards down below.
Cotton, cotton mill blue, cotton, cotton mill blue.
Back then, on a scale of 1 to 10, we asked construction supervisor Cliff Brown, how bad was it?
This is probably a 9.
Wow.
This is a difficult project. Once you peel it all apart, you start to see really the extent of the damage.
Yeah, there was even a tree in the smokestack of what used to be Highland Mill number 1, built in 1892.
Cotton, cotton mill blue,
When Charlotte's skyline was mostly smokestacks.
cotton mill blue. On my mind.
You've always got to be optimistic as a developer, but we sat down, we said, man, what are we doing? And I think one of those times is probably after we watched your interview with Cliff and he talked about how challenging the construction was on a scale of 1 to 10.
But Johnson says that was then and this is now. No cotton mill blues anymore.
This is what we had hoped for, is that you could come here, and just enjoy a good meal and a good time and potentially meet some new people. And I think from that standpoint, we've been successful.
At Optimist Hall today, success is measured by the never-empty tables inside and the always-filled parking lot outside, all at a factory-turned food hall where the tall glass and exposed brick are still there, everywhere, giving you that feeling, floor to ceiling, that you're revisiting part of Charlotte's history.
So these are the original windows from some of the original buildings.
And you repurposed them as dividers.
Yeah, we said we've got a lot of interesting memorabilia. We should try to utilize that. And these, as an example, were the waste receptacles for the hosiery manufacturing process.
Really? But still, if you drove through this neighborhood 10 years ago, I'm not sure anybody would ever have seen this as a destination that it is today.
Yes, and if you look at like this area in particular, we call the Mill District, right? There's all these mills that are right on the light rail because those buildings that were, old, that had a lot of character, tenants want to be there.
And not just any tenants either. Here at Optimist Hall, these are all local and regional restaurants, small restaurant owners, even some new restaurant owners, but not new to the restaurant business.
Maybe they were the chef, or maybe they did it out of a food truck. They can come in and they can be very successful, make money for themselves, employ a bunch of people, and and those are the types of businesses people generally want to support.
We're stationary, wheels up, everyone knows where we're at. We have a big following on social media.
Jason Aliman is general manager of Papi Queso, a popular stop on Charlotte's food truck scene for 10 years. Papi Queso now also serving up their same great grilled cheese and these rosemary fries to hungry customers here at Optimist Hall, where Papi Queso's restaurant is decorated with dozens of old food truck mirrors.
Yeah, that was beautiful. We liked the whole concept of Optimist Hall, just community, and just like, we're like a family. Because they came where we came from. So they know the trials and tribulations, the opportunities that they had to overcome, and then coming here and being welcomed with open arms. It could be challenging sometimes, but we have to, and not trying to be punny, have to remain optimistic. Have to remain optimistic.
Yep, another optimist at Optimist Hall, where you've seen the public food hall side. So now, how about a peek at the other side that you haven't seen, right through this decorated door? This is Duke Energy's Innovation Center at Optimist Hall, with wide open space for hundreds of Duke employees to create and collaborate. It's a factory for new ideas in an actual Charlotte factory. These stacks of old creaky boards are now polished wood floors. The old mill's original brick and beam are still standing too. A century-old building and a century-old company, both looking to the future.
I've been in Optimist since we opened the doors.
Richard Donaldson is Duke's VP for Digital Transformation, talking with us about Duke Energy's transformation at Optimist Hall.
You know, we needed people to feel like they could spread their wings and think a little differently.
You were in the uptown high-rises before. How different is it coming to a building like this?
Very, very different, and it's an adjustment. But the adjustment happened fast. So people went from apprehension to they couldn't wait to get out here. I couldn't have imagined the difference it made. An enormous draw for talent, both inside and outside of the company. So people saw a place like this as a place where they could go accomplish great things.
All within the shadow of Charlotte's uptown, in an old working-class neighborhood that's now working again.
You know, it wasn't the most desirable neighborhood.
But to invest in the neighborhood that needs the investment, that just sends a loud message to that community, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it sends a huge message. And then to see it actually play out, because you hope that you lead and other investments will follow, and that's absolutely happened along this corridor.
And here's another measure of success for these Mill Makeover projects. At Optimist Hall, on the Duke Power side, there's over 450 employees here on any given day, plus the food hall employees, which means there's actually more people working here now than worked in the old textile mill 100 years ago.
Thanks for watching, and if you don't want to miss any more great regional stories, please subscribe to our PBS Charlotte YouTube channel.